Alright. So, Mike, have you seen the Pro Tour Gauntlet thingy?
I haven't.
Okay. So, to explain it to you who has not seen it, the Pro Tour Gauntlet is I guess the closest feature I have to compare to it is kind of like a tavern brawl.
Okay.
There was a modern Pro Tour a week and a half ago, and they took 16 of the top deck lists from that modern Pro Tour and put them in this little gauntlet thing that you can play in. You join it, it's an 8-person event, and every person gets a random deck.
Well, that's kind of cool.
It's a Swiss. You play 3 rounds of Swiss with it, and so you kind of get to play test like the cool top modern decks.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's basically it. It lets us play modern when I don't own a single. Not a single. I actually own a couple cards for modern, but without owning everything for a deck.
When all you own is like the mana base.
On Magic Online, I don't own anything.
Oh, right. Magic Online.
Right. I actually could probably go out of my way and purchase like Blue-Red Eldrazi or whatever pretty easily, just because like I know I own Eldrazi Temples or whatever, and the rest of it, a lot of it is commons from there's some expensive rares though, Thought Not Seer. Anyway, maybe we'll see that deck, who knows. But the way this works, we're going to get to see 4 decks. We're going to see the one we play 3 rounds and the 3 we play against. I did one of these, and we played the Valakut deck.
Nice. Okay.
So this time around, I guess we're getting a repeat. This is a deck that we saw on the opponent's side in rounds. So to quick explain this is the Archangel Chord is the name for it. It is based around Archangel of Thune, which says whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Okay. And Spike Feeder, which says remove a +1/+1 counter, gain 2 life.
Wait, that's an infinite combo.
Yeah, that's the idea. The rest of the deck is cards to either support it, get it to play quicker, or not die, Chord of Calling to find your pieces, a couple like one-of cards for Chord to grab that do cool things. The sideboard has a number of cards for us to bring in different specific matchups. Stony Silence, as Artifact Hate.
Wait, do some of your lands tap? Why you have So why is there black mana?
So black mana is for 2 cards in the main deck and then cards on the sideboard. Orzhov Pontiff, which is an instant speed answer to off of Chord to tokens and lets us do a little bit of more interaction with our opponent, and the flashback on Lingering Souls.
Fair. Okay, and then most of the sideboard.
Yeah, the black is in here. So the Malira combo, there kind of isn't a Malira Infinite in the deck.
Okay.
That I am aware. There is there's no flat Infinite with Malira in the main deck. Malira, I actually think is a sideboard card against Infect.
Fair.
If I had to guess. But yeah, basically the black is free in this deck as far as a splash, because it's a bunch of fetches and an Overgrown Tomb and a Godless Shrine. Okay. Oh, also there's some Spellskites.
Makes sense. I don't think they realized how much people were going to use the pay 2 life mana as just I'm not going to run those colors.
Anyway, let's we're not going to make any changes to the main deck. We just have note worship, or whatever. That's our answer to decks that want to burn us down, Forge Center as well. But we'll see.
When would we ever bring in Sigarda?
Sigarda, let's see. Sigarda gives us a hexproof threat. It gives us the sacrifice thing might actually be a relevant portion of that.
Okay.
I'll have to think more on that. I'm not familiar with piloting this deck or its sideboard, and the history of it, as I kind of explained in the previous Gauntlet, is a short one. This isn't a deck that really existed in Modern in any form. I guess, like, Sigarda stops an Emrakul from killing you, but Emrakul's still killing you. But Rally, Rally's not in here. I guess let me quick find the deck lists so that you all have access to them. Because I want to have this up as well. So yeah, this is these are, in here is where the lists are. There are 16 decks.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to hit play first. Well, talk about an extremely obvious mulligan. This hand can't function.
Yeah, I mean, we can play Path to Exile. I think this is keepable.
Now, this one's actually fine. It has the combo in it.
Right. Oh wait, like, I mean, it's got 2 Noble Hierarchs and a Wall of Roots.
Let's keep the Windswept Heath on top.
Yep.
Razorverge Thicket comes into play untapped and gives us Noble Hierarch immediately.
Alright, I'm cool with this. Next turn we get Noble Hierarch Wall of Roots.
Alright, so let's see what our opponent is playing. Horizon Canopy.
I think we were playing the mirror match. That was in our deck.
You can't be playing a mirror in this.
Oh, really? Okay.
So the only other deck that is playing Horizon Canopy is Abzan Company, a Abzan combo deck that kind of matches us in some cards.
Okay.
So, anyway, I have a thought for what I'm going to do. I'm going to be using this fetch. So, I'm going to be using this fetch. Hopefully I get to see the Eldrazi deck so I can talk more about it.
Yeah.
We want the Windswept Heath. Yes, it is. 3 times, actually. There's 3 different Eldrazi decks in here. We want black. Do I want green? No, I think I just want black-white. So we're going to grab Godless Shrine.
Okay.
Yep. Pay 2 life. And then we're going to do Crazy Mana Acceleration.
Right.
So Wall Roots. Excuse me.
It's doing that thing again.
That is not the text of Wall Roots. How did that break too?
They broke everything, apparently.
Anyway, and then we get to attack for 2 with Exalted.
That's silly.
So this is turn 2.
And so next turn, if we draw a land, we'll have 6 mana.
Yes.
Do we even need that?
Now, what has our opponent got? So they are playing like Wall Roots of their own, perhaps?
All mana abilities tap the card. You will enjoy this change. Okay, so it looks like he's token, so we're probably going to want to bring those.
So he does. He has an infinite combo, Malira.
Okay.
So I guess I'll talk more about the Malira combo when we get closer to our opponent being able to pull it off. Do I have any way in my hand to gain life? No. Do I have any way to... Do I just play this Archangel Athun?
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, because Chord of Calling is instant.
Actually, no. I win the game. Next, yeah, this game ends because my opponent only has 1x Fiend Hunter as... Actually, no, then I leave up Chord. So...
Just leaving up Chord right now?
So I'm looking at the opponent's deck list because I have that. The only cards my opponent has that allow him to interact with my combo are 1x Fiend Hunter, 1x Abrupt Decay. So if I play Archangel here, I'm giving my opponent a way to interact with my junk, and I don't want that.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... let's go ahead and pay 2 life for Temple Garden.
So we can search a dude that costs 3 to...
Actually, I'll show off a different trick.
Okay.
This one involves Wall of Roots. But we do want a 3 cost, you are correct.
Right, I forget that you can, like, activate Wall of Roots a bunch of times.
Yeah.
The card's, like, super unfair.
Yep. So if our opponent plays Okay, double Gavony Township. This game ends.
All right, sweet.
So you'll see what I mean here in a little bit. Oh man, if that wall where it's like actually taps, I can't use it for chord.
That's dumb.
Huh. Oh my god.
Can you do it during chord? So you can like spend the mana like clicking on it and then it'll untap?
No. Well, maybe. This is dumb. Okay, whatever. It functions, but I tapped the tapped wall of roots to do this. Anyway, X is currently 3.
The hell?
Anyway, we want a copy of Spike Feeder. That's the card we want. And then we're going to use Windswept Heath to go grab a land. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so what would happen there is I would use Spike Feeder to infinitely give +1/+1 counters to every creature I control, including 2 Noble Hierarchs, which hit to attack for lethal there.
Okay, so how are you gaining life though?
Remove a counter from Spike Feeder, gain 2
Oh,
life.
right. Okay.
And then whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control.
Nice.
So, I guess to talk more about the Melira combo, let's look at our sideboard. So the Melira combo involves 3 cards. Melira Sylvok Outcast, which says creatures can't have -1/-1 counters placed on them. It also involves another card called Viscera Seer. Any sack outlet. Viscera Seer just says whenever sack a creature, scry 1. The third piece of the combo is any creature with Persist.
Okay.
Because when Persist says it comes back with a -1/-1 counter, which it can't.
So, when, like, you can't do that mid combo, can you? Because they can just continue to go over the top on it.
What do you mean?
Like, didn't you say that there's a like infinite combo with putting -1/-1?
Well, no. There's not an infinite with that. It's an infinite that prevents all the -1/-1s from going on anything.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I need to bring in the Thought Seizes to better interact with my opponent. Pride Mage doesn't do anything. Pontiff does because they have enough mana dorks that this just kills, I believe. Hierarchs and birds. The Scavenging Ooze also lets us interact with the combo by removing the Persist creature before it resolves or comes back.
Okay.
I think Spell Skites are my other outs because they don't do anything. My opponent is going to be boarding in a couple cards to stop me. Path to Exiles, likely a Phyrexian Revoker, Pithing Needle perhaps.
Okay.
Pithing Needle might mean that I want to keep in the Pride Mage.
Fair.
So I'm going to do that, and I want to take out... go with the Lingering Souls. I want the Paths again because their interaction with what our opponent's doing.
Right.
So now we won game 1 pretty handily because our opponent did both. We had the combo on 4, and our opponent's main deck has nothing in as far as the way of interacting with our combo. This is going to be different. This looks pretty solid though.
Yeah, like we can Thoughtseize turn 1.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like, yeah, turn 2 Walla Roots and go from there.
Yep, so I'm going to use the Marsh Flats to go ahead and grab some sort of duel. Our opponent missed didn't play a turn 1 Mana Dork, which is a huge setback as well. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and use the Marsh Flats to go ahead and grab us a black duel. We're going to take 5. I love taking...
God.
Anyway, we want a white source, so we want the Godless Shrine. And we want to pay 2 life, yes. Of course we want to pay more life.
I forget how much damage you do to yourself in standard.
You're seeing what I'm seeing here, right?
An offensive?
No, count the number of lands that they just revealed to me.
Oh, you mean the 0?
Yes. Did they scry to the top? This is important to me now. They put a card on top.
So that means they most likely have a land there.
I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Anafenza. Specifically because the Anafenza actually infinites as well.
Okay.
It puts a +1/+1 counter on the creature, which gets rid of the -1/-1 counter. They do have Phyrexian Revoker that they can play, but I could with this hand, I actually should have a pretty good chance of just going over them. This is pretty guts, yeah. There's guts involved in what my opponent has just done. So they obviously have a turn 2 land. I don't actually know if it was a white... Oh no, it was a Noble Hierarch. Oh my god.
Wow, even more guts.
Alright, so I actually want to fetch away... Yeah, I do want to not draw lands for a while. I am going to go ahead and grab Forest. That is guts, and I can't punish them. Mostly because Path to Exile would be my main way to kill that, but still, this means Revoker is one of the only things they can play. And they're probably going to Revoker naming Spike Feeder, pretty obviously. The problem is, I actually can just go over them.
Yeah.
Like, I can play Lingering Souls and then attack with Archangel, which has lifelink, which gives +1/+1 counters to all the Lingering Souls. They chose Wall of Roots. Okay.
Okay, I mean, that doesn't stop us from Lingering Souls, so...
That's great. Also, I guess I also have the path so that I can...
I mean, right now they don't have land, so I would recommend not doing that.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get a clock started. Let me use the fetch next turn. The other thing with Lingering Souls, quite good with Chord.
Yeah. Oh.
Melira. Alright, so he's got the first part of his combo.
Okay.
But I have interaction with it. So anyway, I'm going to flashback Lingering Souls. And we're just going to attack.
The draft was on mine.
The draft was in the other zone. Mike was doing that one. We went to round 2 with that one. Except, you're not going to Giant Growth. Like, that's just not going to happen. Would you like to pay 2 life? No.
Not this time. We've taken 7 to ourselves.
Ooh.
Do we even care about going that route? Like, we could just, like, Gavony Township and hit our opponent for 8 and kill them the next turn.
I'm going to play the Archangel Athune anyway. But you're right, we basically don't. The trick is, I can't chord off of all these spirits because I won't have the green for it, and I can't use the Walrus for green.
Right. Okay, fair.
But, so the Archangel...
Actually, this is the same clock either way. This is still a 2-turn clock because we can, if they don't do anything, we just Gavony Township next turn, and that's 11 damage.
Or I chord and go infinite.
But yeah, or you chord and go infinite.
Because they didn't name, you know.
Okay, well, the game's over.
Right, so this is the other half of the deck where I just go, okay. I guess that card line is redacted. Yes, flying.
And black, and then...
then redacted, and then, okay.
Then we win, alright.
So, yeah, anyway, I didn't get to talk too much about the Melira deck, so I will talk some more about that deck because we've got a bit of time on our hands.
Yeah.
that's kind of what I've been doing on this Gauntlet is mostly because I have enough knowledge about Modern that I can talk about the history of a deck.
Okay.
So we have Abzan Company, which is the newest version of an old deck. This deck is something we all used to know as Birthing Pod, is probably the oldest version of it. And maybe not the oldest version, because there were certain, but the most commonly known ones. This is Abzan Company, that's correct. We are playing the Archangel Chord deck, as shown by Archangel and Chord. Also, modern deck names are lame and very specific. Like, very, very, like, they aren't cool anymore. So, the Melira combo, as I described, is Melira or Anafenza. Both of them work. Because so Melira prevents them from getting a -1/-1 counter so they can persist infinitely. Anafenza gives them a +1/+1 counter, which removes the -1/-1 counter so they can persist infinitely.
Okay.
The deck uses Kitchen Finks or Murderous Redcap to infinite. Kitchen Finks gives it an infinite life, and Murderous Redcap gives it infinite damage.
I think I prefer the infinite damage.
So what happened to this deck was that this deck used to be based around Birthing Pod.
Okay.
Because Birthing Pod would let you just search out your combo pieces very quickly. When your combo pieces are a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop,
does that pretty well.
Pod does a good job at finding all of them, as well as allowing you to play a lot of one-ofs, like, I don't know, like Revoker and things like that. Not Revoker specifically, but things like Revoker.
Right.
To disrupt your opponent. The current deck, after it lost, so Birthing Pod got banned about 6-9 months ago, less than a year ago. Birthing Pod was banned. So the deck changed now to use Collected Company, which is I'm gonna go pull up Collected Company for the benefit of everybody at home.
Oh, I'm at home.
Oh, that's nice. Good place. So Collected Company says, look at the top 6 cards of your library, put 2 creatures with 3 or less cost from them into play.
Wow.
Again, your combo pieces are a 1-drop, a 2-drop, and a 3-drop, which all fall below 3. Also,
that's pretty sick.
Also, there's a sweet card in this format called Eternal Witness.
Oh yeah.
Which
says, that guy.
Which is a 3-drop. Who she kind of picks up your Collected Company again. You get to do it again. So yeah, the current version of the deck still utilizes the tutoring, but in a different manner. Collected Company is nowhere near as powerful as Birthing Pod was as far as getting things going, but it is incredibly powerful.
But it's good enough.
Yes. They also play Chord of Calling, of course, because again, 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. Chord for 1, 2, and 3 is quite cheap.
It's quite easy in a format with Wall of Roots and
right. The list there is only playing 2 Wall of Roots. They're playing a few more Spell Skites to try to protect their combo from Bolt, because a lot of their creatures are incredibly fragile.
Fair.
Like extremely, a 1/1, a 2/2, and a creature with Persist. The combo is a bit, what's the word? Weak to graveyard removal if you can't, if they can stop you from persisting.
Right.
But yeah, as is though, it's a very good deck. So this is just an evolution of some of the pod variants.
Okay.
Whereas our deck is, well, we saw our combo. We didn't get to see it go off, but we saw the 2 requisite cards that make it up. I feel our opponent was not terribly familiar with their own, because choosing Wall of Roots on a Revoker doesn't really put them in a great position.
I mean, to be fair, in this situation, it worked better because we didn't need the other combo piece.
That's correct.
But he could not have known that.
Right. Well, we were the ones who thought seized him.
Right.
Also, I love Lava Axe myself for Thoughtseize. That's so good.
That was ridiculous.
What if I just take 5 damage? All this damage is me.
So that's something you probably don't want to do if we go up against the red player.
Correct. The red player, the game plan changes a lot into... Well, for one, my deck it does have an infinite life combo. I win. But the sideboard is a little more important there for Burrington Forge Tender and Worship. Worship being the biggest one. It just says if you control a creature, you can't go below 1.
Fair.
And hard for Burn to deal with all these.
Yeah.
So Worship is our big game there. It does say we can't go below 1 from damage, so we can like die to other things.
So like we could lose life.
Yeah, we could lose life and die. That's not gonna be an issue in Burn unless they're like Bump of the Night, but that's not the Burn deck in here.
Yeah.
Bump of the Night's a hell of a thing though. But yeah, last time around, I got to show off this deck. I played against this deck. We also got to show off the Valakut deck.
Okay, that was the one you got to play, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I assume you're at least familiar with Valakut.
Yeah, where you just, like, prime time out a bunch of Valakuts and mountains and your opponent explodes.
Yeah, basically that. And then we got to play against the Death's Shadow deck.
That sounds terrifying.
So Death's Shadow is a 1-mana 13/13.
Fair.
It gets -1 power and toughness for each life point you have.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So let me read off some of the cards in the deck for those who didn't watch that one. Thoughtseize, Gataxian Probe, Mutagenic Growth, Street Wraith, like, and it's all fetch lands and shocks. There are no basics.
Oh, God.
So they killed me on turn 3 with a 14/14 Death's Shadow with Double Strike and Trample. The turn before I would kill him. Anyway. Yeah, I would say that player had the best move. They countered my Lightning Bolt with Lightning Bolt.
Get wrecked?
I went to Lightning Bolt their Death's Shadow and they bolted themselves.
That's probably one of the greatest moves you could possibly make.
Well played. Yeah, and then the last deck I got to show off in that one was the what was the last one in that one? Was that the Jund? I believe that was Jund. Which it's Jund. It's just good cards in 3 colors. I mean,
fair.
There's discard spells, removal spells, Dark Confidant.
Yeah, I remember Jund. That was like basically when I stopped playing Standard.
Right. In Modern, it's much less. Bloodbraid Elf doesn't exist. Let's put it that way.
Oh, is that like just like straight up banned?
That is flat banned.
That's probably for the best.
Because it was too... They actually banned 2 cards from Jund because the deck was too strong. Bloodbraid Elf and Deathrite Shaman.
You see, that was right there is my problem with Jund.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fact that a standard deck put into Modern is more powerful than any other Modern deck.
Well, the thing is, it's not more powerful for certain.
Well, alright, not more powerful, but can still do just fine playing just standard cards.
Well, it's not just standard cards. Tarmogoyf and Dark Confidant are not just standard cards.
Fair. Alright, that's fair.
Those are a lot better. Some of the others, yeah, like they are like, just standard cards. The Bolts, the Maelstrom Pulse, but the Terminates, Kitchen Finks, Liliana, that sort of thing. But we're not just
3/4 of the deck.
We're not just talking standard cards, like because Dark Confidant and Tarmogoyf are huge. Those are 4 ofs in the deck.
Right.
The removal it plays is a very varied suite. Thoughtseize was not a standard card. Inquisition, yeah, sure, whatever that was, but yeah, Jund. The problem with Jund is that with banning cards from Jund to kill Jund is just a list of good cards.
Right. It's not like a lot of other things they've banned that because WotC just hates combo.
Yeah. Jund is just a list of good cards, so when you ban the good card, there you go. Oh no, I remove the Bloodbraid Elf from my deck and add 4 other good cards. My deck is slightly worse. Let's move on. And I mean, slightly worse is a bit of a misnomer because both Deathrite Shaman and Bloodbraid are incredibly powerful, but the point stands, it's not like just killing the deck like banning Splinter Twin did.
Right.
So yeah. John, yeah. So those were the decks I got to show off last time. I hope to show off a bit more variety now, with our opponents at least. I know we'll get a bit of a different side of things because we're playing a combo deck that has not the most straightforward of combos, but a fairly straightforward combo. Like,
Right.
let me rephrase that. It is the most straightforward of combos, but the deck itself has a lot of different like things to it. Like you saw the Gavony Township, it's playing 4 of those.
Jesus.
Because I mean,
it would have won the game. So
yeah. Splinter Twin. No, you don't want to play Kiki Twin because Kiki's too disruptible. However, there is a deck that we'll see maybe that is playing Twin combo in a manner of speaking. That does exist. That was in these top 16 decks. There is a deck that wins with Kiki and an Infinite. So maybe we'll see that. But they did ban. But the problem with playing with Kiki over Twin is that Twin it gets a lot more disruptible and red and 5. So it's much worse off, and you only have one piece of that combo. There's a Kiki Chord deck as well, but there's not a Kiki Chord deck in this top 16, to my knowledge.
okay.
Like I'm going off of the lists I'm looking at, Shabadoo, which is I guess I should link that for, again for those. There is that is a deck that exists. It is not Kiki Village Bellringer. You need to think larger and much stronger for your Village Bellringer. You're not thinking good enough.
God.
Like, make the card you're thinking of better, and then make it better, and then make it better, and then continue to make it better until it's a 3/4 flying angel with flash. And
I'm surprised that they haven't banned Kiki at this point.
Well, they banned Twin and the deck is dead. Kiki is very fringe alone. Like, there are decks.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Just like because that was like the first format I grew up with. Was Kiki.
I know, that was where we both started playing.
And just like I don't know, every time the format changed, Kiki was still like it's like an outlier at this point, but it always found a way of coming back.
I don't think it's
and it's always as a combo.
I don't think it's bannable though. Like, it costs 5.
Right, like I don't really think that it's bannable as well. I'm just surprised that WotC hasn't banned it. Just because of how much they hate combo.
That's fair. It's actually quite funny. The decks that exist in this top 16, there are a lot of combo. Like, not all of them are like as straightforward, but like the Death Shadow deck, very combo, you know. But yeah, the only reason the Jeskai Lisk plays the Kiki combo is because it's already playing 4x Restoration Angel, because Restoration Angel owns and is one of the best creatures ever.
Yeah.
I will stand by Resto Angel being one of the best creatures ever. And they're already playing red, and they're already playing Resto, so might as well dedicate a couple slots to literally win the game. Ban things until Necro's good, then ban Necro. The trick with those bans is that Necro is actually always good. So
That's easier.
yeah. It definitely is.
So was Gavony Township the reason that what's the name of the land in this set?
Which one?
The one that puts a 1/1 counter on a colorless creature. The reason that is only on come into like ones that have come into play this turn.
It's not the reason it's only. Well, no, that one is only ones that have come into play this turn because it's actually a mirror of a existing card. So I'll put in the word Oran. That should give it to me. So here's the card you're talking about: Ruins of Oran Reef.
Yes.
Put a 1/1 counter on a colorless creature that came into play. Comes to play taps for colorless. Well, here's a card from Zendikar. Comes to play tapped, tap for green, put a 1/1 counter on green creature that came into play.
Okay.
And it's the art is extremely similar. It's literally the same art Like, it's two different artists, but it's the same thing, just this is desolate and ruined, this is life.
Right. Okay.
I'm aware Abyss Hunted, and I am not one who complains about the band list sizes.
I feel like there's a very big difference between the Yu-Gi-Oh band list and the Magic band list, mostly because I feel like I give Magic a little more leeway just for the size of the game. Like, eventually there's going to be card interactions from 15 sets back that you're just not going to be able to plan around.
You're aware that Yu-Gi-Oh has that as well, right?
Well, at this point, yeah. But I mean, like, that was happening like 5 sets in on Yu-Gi-Oh.
Let's go ahead and turn this back up to quantity 1 so that we get this. So we're still waiting on one match. They finished game 1 quickly, but game 2 is still going. Everybody else is just finished.
I hope it's 2-0 on everybody's game, because that'd be sweet.
That'd be nifty.
Also, because I don't want to wait forever.
Yeah, that's fair. The last one of these I did was 3 rounds and went. Why is the Blue Moon deck running Blood Moon? I don't get it. It looks like it's just fixing for red. You're correct. I want you as a you're taking a look at the deck list, right, Repster? Just go ahead and take a look at how many basics are in all the other lists. I'll wait.
I'm also gonna look.
There's a lot. Because you resolve Blood Moon against maybe like 50 to 75% of these decks, they stop casting spells forever. Like, just stop. Obviously, like, mono red. Okay, yeah. But no, so I guess the Repster, if we see Blue Moon as a deck, I'll talk about the history of Blue Moon. But Blue Moon is effectively a blue-red control deck. The red is in there for a little more than the Blood Moons. It's in there for the Electrolyzes, the Lightning Bolts, the Burst Lightnings, and the Pia and Kirans. And a couple sideboard cards. But the fixing, the Blood Moon is the most powerful red card in there besides Lightning Bolt, maybe? Maybe. Blood Moon's incredibly powerful.
There's 2 forests in that deck.
Yeah, so I guess sorry. Blood Moon makes them mountains. End of text. End of line. They are mountains. You cannot tap them for any color that isn't red. So, hope you can win with red mana.
Yeah.
There are some decks that can, like the Eldrazi deck. The Eldrazi deck, funnily enough, actually has problems with it sometimes. Because you need colorless mana to play your Thought-Knot Seers and Mana Reshapers.
Dude, I love this Through the Breach deck.
Yes.
Like, 16 creatures, 4x Emrakul, 4x Grizzlebrand.
Yep. But yeah, so Blood Moon is not like Urborg. It is the flat overwrite. It is meant as a way to hose your opponent's mana. The trick against playing against Blood Moon, like, so if I go back to my deck, like, I'm playing 2 forests and a plains in here. If I know that my opponent's on the moon, go grab basics with my fetches.
Right.
I have mana dorks as well. I can survive it as long as I'm prepared. But if you catch somebody off guard, if you catch somebody greedy, if you catch somebody with their pants down, done. They're out. Again, I guess I'll talk more about Blood Moon if that deck comes up. It does have a history. That is not just a one-off deck in this Pro Tour.
I absolutely love that Zoo is still a deck.
Always will be.
It's another one of just a pile of good cards.
Yep, that deck had a number of...
And that right there is probably why Jund didn't have things banned when it was in Standard, because it was still going up against things like Zoo, which is like just as good.
Well, like, Zoo actually had cards banned from it at one point.
Did it? Like when it was in standard or
No, in Modern.
in modern? Okay.
There's, but yeah, the Blood Moon. Blood Moon is a fun card because it's like red control, and that's funky. Which I guess shouldn't be. I think red should have control pieces. You're correct, Seymour's. Wild Nicottle was the banned card in Zoo. Actually banned in Modern.
Wait, Wild Nicottle was banned?
That's correct. They want Zoo at the time. Zoo was the #1 deck, and they wanted to take it down a peg, much like banning Bloodbraid Elf from Jund. It didn't kill the deck; it just made it worse.
My favorite part about that is like we need to take the deck down. Let's ban a common.
Well, it did. It successfully, absolutely demolished the deck.
Yeah.
The deck, like, with Nicottle banned, it dropped heavily in popularity, and they actually unbanned it. Obviously, it's in one of these.
Right, I just saw it in this pack, in this deck, so I was slightly confused.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they'll ever ban Tarmogoyf?
I do not believe so.
Okay. I mean, because I kind of put that in the same category as like Wild Nicottle, but it's a little.
So the reason they banned Nicottle instead of Goyf is one of their banning principles when they're trying to ban a deck. Like, you know, when they brought down Jund, they banned Bloodbraid. Well, Bloodbraid isn't the most powerful card in the deck. We're in Modern. Like, there are arguments to be made for a couple other cards, but they banned Bloodbraid because that makes it a laser-focused ban. When you ban Wild Nicottle instead of, like, Tarmogoyf, if you ban Tarmogoyf, like, a dozen decks are affected by that.
That's very true.
When you ban Wild Nicottle, Zoo and maybe one or two other decks that play it are affected by it. Bloodbraid was kind of the laser targeting as well. It wanted to ban the card that would do the most to Jund and the least to everyone else. And that's an idea I can get behind a lot. Like having your bans be laser focused to what you want to change if you're going to do them. It's making changes to a format with bans is very difficult, I guess, is the thing. You have to know what you're doing. And sometimes you can't know.
Right.
Sometimes you just can't.
So why is Dryad Arbor a mythic?
It's not. It is a common. It was a mythic because the little mythic symbol is included on all cards that were included in a From the Vault.
Oh, okay.
And there was a From the Vault lands.
That makes sense.
That's also true. When you choose the card that you're banning from the deck specifically, you get to decide how you change the deck. And the Wild Nicottle makes it, it's a much different ban than if they had banned, I don't know, something else that's only in the Zoo deck. The Zoo deck that we're seeing in here, which we might see, again, I'm kind of talking about the history of Zoo, but we'll try to go more into it before, because Zoo has a very long history. It actually starts in Ravnica, but if we get there, we'll get there.
I suppose, yeah, because if they had banned like Curdape, that probably wouldn't have done enough.
Well, right, Wild Nicottle is the stronger card. Also,
right.
there is a fake Curdape that exists. It's white, and it gets +1/+2 if you control a forest.
Oh.
So you banned Curdape, and yeah. I really like the From the Vault Dryad Arbor because it resembles a real forest. And the trick with Dryad Arbor is trying to make your Dryad Arbor as innocuous as possible. If you can hide it in the back and just slide it with your forest, and it looks sort of the same as the others.
So you're playing cheaty face in Modern.
Like, you slide it back, and then, like, you have it sitting next to but not with the forest, because that's misrepresenting the board. But if that's just sitting there, and then they go all attack for lethal, and then you push forward the Dryad Arbor. Or even better, you fetch for a forest and grab Dryad Arbor to block.
Got him.
But really, that's not the real reason I like it the most. The pip and the art. I are the pip. I actually don't know if the art's better on that one, on that Dryad Arbor.
It's pretty sweet. Like, it's just like a tree that looks like it could be a person.
Yeah, because the Dryad Arbor. This is the Dryad Arbor from the set. Oh, sorry, uncommon. I said common. It was an uncommon. And then this is the one from the set that looks a lot more like a forest. It's funny. Because the big thing that makes this weird is that because it's a forest, it has a little forest on it, which lets it hide in the forest slightly better. I think that's an intended part of the card.
It's intended to be cheaty face.
Well, no, not cheaty face. There's a line you don't want to cross there. You don't put it with your forest specifically like under between them to like mask its existence. You just have it sitting there. You just wait. You don't mention it until outside of the one time you used it and played. Said I played Dryad Arbor, or I'll fetch for my Dryad Arbor. Anyway. We're moving on. That's enough talking about cheaty face. I don't. There's a mental line I have on what is and is not acceptable behavior with Magic, and there's a difference between like allowing your opponent to forget and misrepresenting to force them to forget.
Just like putting it straight into your lands and
right.
Is what was the name of that card that doesn't it like do like 2 damage for every non-basic that your opponent has?
That is Price of Progress.
Is that a modern card?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Or else Burn would be in a much stronger position if they had red 1 deal 8 damage.
That's pretty solid.
How did this Kraken get into play? Oh, that's a hell of a... Where did this Kraken come from? That's weird. I just put it into play instead of my Somnomancer. Yeah, that's... I don't have time for that story, but maybe later if it comes up. Anyway, we're going to get to see something new now.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
My hope is that we get to see one of the Eldrazi decks and we just get like absolutely crushed by it, because that's likely what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Ryan has been playing the Eldrazi deck in Modern for like the last week, and I believe him when he says this deck is absolutely freaking broken and not playing it is a mistake. Price of Progress does hit both players, but you're mono red, so your lands are mountain, which does not deal damage. So Price of Progress actually only hits one player, because generally you're playing to not deal 6 damage to yourself. Also, if you're the burn deck, you probably don't care about taking 2 or 4.
Also true.
You only care.
I mean, unless you're playing the mirror. But...
All right. Well, if you're playing the mirror, you board that out because your opponent is only mountains. Why are you playing a card?
Oh yeah, okay, fair.
You won the dice roll. Would you like to play first? Yes.
I think this is doable.
Because there are 3 mana dorks, I am willing to attempt this. This is an interesting and maybe not the best hand, but
it's still better than the one our opponent kept last time of land in hand and 1 mana dork on top of library.
So anyway, we're going to lead with the Noble Hierarch, because that could possibly attack for more damage.
Yes.
All right. So Blinkmoth Nexus. This tells us a number of things about our opponent's deck. They could be Affinity. They could be some form of Eldrazi. We don't know. A couple of the Eldrazi decks play Blinkmoth Nexus. The colorless one does, and actually no, it's just the colorless one. Yep, it's just the colorless Eldrazi and Affinity. Those are the only 2 decks this would be, and I'm going to put them on Eldrazi because they didn't play 6 cards.
Okay, fair.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get mana going so that I can function against this deck. So, the big thing about the Eldrazi deck, and this is something that Ryan was also talking about a lot, you have to know when to mulligan, because you have all these lands that tap for a lot of mana, and sometimes it's better to mulligan even like decent looking 7s because you want those lands that speed you up. I don't know if that's the deck our opponent's on. They could still be on Affinity, but I really doubt it because that deck has like 4 Ornithopters. Okay, this is definitely...
this is kind of really unfortunate.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh god!
Oh,
It
no.
just got 1,000 times worse.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Well, let's get an Archangel out while we can, then, I guess. Or I guess we could get Scavenging Ooze, it'll get +2/+2 next turn.
Yikes. We've been... Own goal.
Huh.
If I play Ooze, it would be a 5/5. If I play the Angel, I think the Angel's the card I need to play.
I think so too.
The Ooze, like, both of them died to Dismember, so that's... I could leave up Path to path my own.
That was the only reason I was thinking maybe Ooze. But I think, like, we play the Archangel here because we probably aren't going to have another opportunity.
That's fair. All right. Let's commit. Ratchet Bomb! Shakes fist.
Yeah.
This is my penance for keeping the hand I did, but there was no reason not to, especially on an unknown opponent. I'm not going, uh-oh. All right. We're probably going to get Thought-Knot Seared here. So this is a land that taps... Oh, no! He's going to play free Eldrazi Mimics, too.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the Eldrazi deck, everybody.
Jesus.
And then Thought-Knot Seer. Endless 1 for 4. Which makes his Mimics 4/4s, but not for... You know, they stop being 4/4s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's until end of turn. The Mimics become XX, where they gain the power and toughness of they become the same power and toughness. So,
Free Eldrazi from the government.
Yep. Welcome to Eye of Ugin, the absolute most ridiculous card in the Eldrazi deck. Oh god!
Oh hell yeah!
Oh my god, I need a land.
Literally a land, and we are just fine.
Alright, well, I'm going to play Scavenging Ooze and attack with Archangel. Any land in the deck will do. Urborg... Oh, so Urborg has a cool interaction where it makes Eye of Ugin tap for mana.
Oh, nice.
My opponent's playing an Endless 1 for $1 billion.
That doesn't stop us from comboing out next turn, so that's fine.
We don't have the mana to combo
out. Right.
That's the current issue. Because he gets 7/7s.
Yeah, we need to block one of those. We're taking a lot here.
Yes, we are. But we are going to block. So we'll take 11.
18? Oh no, the other one's an attack and see it's 11.
Actually, is this right? Because this is 18. Go to 5. Jump block the Endless 1 next turn. I'm just gonna...
We just take it? Because we can make our Scavenging Ooze bigger?
Well, I'm okay, so I'm living in two different worlds. The world where I draw land, the game ends and I don't care. The world where I don't, I need a second plan. So I'm actually gonna leave, because these are a 7/7 now, but they won't be next turn. This Endless will
right.
be gone. I'm just gonna take a lot of damage.
Yeah.
That's a
Well,
trump.
all right. It's okay.
That's a trump blocker, and it's the mana we need to not die.
Right.
Now, the other thing I'm actually going to do is not attack with Archangel, I think, because I'll live with the lifelink will save me.
Right. Yeah, keeping him back is basically like having 2 blockers because of the lifelink.
Well, if I attack with it, actually, I think I'm.
It does put counter on our things, but I don't think that matters really.
Not really. So the one thing is, we're dead if our opponent actually has an Eldrazi to do the Mimic on. I guess I'm going to leave him back. We need our opponent to have not one of these huge endless ones or something, that wins him the game.
Okay.
I chump that.
Yeah, with that, because then, yeah, we just get to combo off next turn, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As long as he doesn't, kill our guys.
So this is defending against Dismember.
Gotcha.
Now he could still dismember the Spike Feeder.
Well, I mean, we have no other plays.
Oh, no, actually, no, we're good. So here's the play. This is the funky...
Oh, yeah, if he dismembers it, we just do things in response.
And I'm going to attack to put a third counter on it.
Right.
So let's go ahead and do our thing. We attack. I am not going to do the... Actually, I could do the infinite here, couldn't I? I'm not going. I'm not going to, though. Not yet. I'm defending against his Dismember, which he doesn't have. Okay, I'm playing it safe when I'm going to infinite life. I don't need to. Just check this out.
Oh, I see what you're... Okay.
So the way I was doing that was because this only had 2 counters on it. If I removed a counter to try to infinite, he could dismember the Spike Feeder, and then I lose. The game ends. But if I just let it get the third counter, if he went for a Dismember there, I just start the combo again. I realize it's a turn slower, but I'm playing safer, and I have no,
And we can just do this as much as we want.
Did I pay 2 life? Yeah, I'm good with that.
we want, what, at least, 70 in case he plays, Emrakul somehow?
He's not going to. This is honestly enough, but I'm showing the combo functioning here. I'm just kidding. Don't mind me. I'm just eating all these peaches. It's fine. But yeah, so I chose not to kill my opponent last turn because I wanted to play safe. And I always feel that if you have the option to play... If you have 2 equal options without the downside, you take the safer one if they're equal.
Yep.
So, the Eldrazi deck.
Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous. I'm kind of surprised we actually got through there.
Again, our opponent kept a slow enough hand that we were able to infinite. Now, what do we want? Is worship something we want here?
Oh.
If we resolve
Probably.
this, their only removal is Dismember and Ratchet Bomb, and then off the sideboard they have more Ratchet Bomb, Oblivion, and some Gut Shots.
I think worship is fine.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring out the... Also, Thoughtseize is a option as well. I'm going to set it as an option. None of the others do anything. But Worship is the ideal form of what we want. Which version of Eldrazi is this? This is the colorless Eldrazi list. I believe that would be the one that LSV was piloting. No, they do not run all as dust. That is not something I need to worry about. Actually, I know the Worships are good here, and the Thoughtseizes are probably just fine, but the question is, what do we not want? I'm going to cut one spell skite at least. Maybe both, honestly. Yeah, I can play around Dismember, so I'm going to...
Right, I mean, we just did, so...
Yeah. Perhaps I don't bring in the Thoughtseize? I want
I
the
just
Thoughtseize...
don't know what we cut.
Right, I want the Thoughtseize, but I don't want what I want. Yes, I'm aware it's Ivan Phlox, but listed on here, but I'm quite certain this was the list that LSV was running. Thank you for linking that, though. I was about to. LSV made top 4 and was the one I watched playing this.
Do we care about Pride Mage?
We lost 1 billion cards to Ratchet Bomb, so you tell me.
I mean, yeah, I suppose, but...
I'm willing to keep it in as a one-of for our Chord. And Pontiff is good because it kills off the Mimics.
That's true.
I'm just going to do this.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
The Thoughtseizes are... The Worship is the card I want to resolve and get down and like, yo, hey, you can't kill me. Which looks good on this hand.
Yeah, this hand is like...
I'm willing to keep.
Yeah.
By the way, the basics in our opponent's deck, wastes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Very happy about that.
I'm really happy that he didn't Ghost Quarter last game, because that probably would have killed us.
We grab a basic, it's fine.
Oh, I forget that I forget it's just not Strip Mine.
Yeah. Would you like to pay 2 life? Yes. I went and grabbed the black so that I could flashback Lingering Souls here.
Yep.
And then we're going to go ahead and play Noble Hierarch.
Do we Lingering next turn, or do we Wall of Roots?
Wall of Roots. Believe it's better. Ratchet Bomb, alright.
Well, especially now.
Yeah.
Actually, now, well, is it 1 or less, or is it exactly 1?
Exactly 1.
Okay, well, sorry. So Lingering Souls is now safe.
Don't play the birds.
No, do not play birds. I suppose we could do that, so we could just, like, get Worship out as quick as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it, like, we need it until we're about to die, but in Eldrazi, that's probably next turn anyway.
Well, they could pull off a pretty quick play. I'm actually not going to attack for 1 here because I want to leave Path to Exile as an open choice in case he goes for a Thought-Knot Seer, which he did not play. He's playing a fair game, which is the worst place he can be in.
Yeah.
His deck is best when it's playing lands that tap for 2, going wah wah wah, like the Waluigi that he is, and doing the whatever madness he's got available. But that's not what he's doing. The Eldrazi deck really, really depends on those decks to do the unfair things. Otherwise, it's just another fair deck. Pithing Needle. All right. A good reason for us to have left in the Pride Mage.
That's very true.
This is going to resolve. He's likely going to name Spike Feeder. Mostly because this is Pithing Needle, and Pithing Needle can't stop mana abilities. Though he can legally name Wall of Roots or Noble Hierarch with it anyway.
Well, let's hope he does that.
Also,
Oh, we can feel fine playing birds now.
Basically?
Because I'm fine. It's kind of like fine trading Noble Hierarch and birds for Ratchet Bomb Pithing Needle.
Right. I'm very happy with this.
Incorrect.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, let's see it. Oh, please rack up your Ratchet Bomb now.
Right, because he thinks the Noble Hierarch is... By the way,
Yeah.
you should not rack up your Ratchet Bomb until the correct time.
Until like end of turn. Well, not like not. Oh, he's. What is he doing?
Well, he's now destroying. He wants the Noble Hierarch triple dead, so he's going to get it. The Noble Hierarch is now dead.
And so is his pithing needle.
All right, where's my Odin? Well played.
I guess we got wrecked.
We did. So there's Chord. So I want a Lingering Souls this turn. Let's not tap our white. If I want a Lingering Souls this turn.
Be incorrect.
Excuse me. Why can't
I just love how much nothing our opponent did last turn.
I'm completely fine with them, like, edicting their own stuff.
He went 2 for 1 on a.
Well, he didn't realize both that the rat. He again, a lot of this is learning to play the deck, and that's what this is for.
All right, that's very true. That's very true.
So that's what this is all about, is learning to play the deck, and he definitely has learned 2 interactions that he now will carry with him, and that's great. One of the things I stand by, and I will continue to forever. Once you've made every mistake, like you make every mistake once, and once you've done that, you're invincible. You're immortal. You can't fuck up anymore. So Ghost. Okay, that is a good play.
Yes.
You see, with our board and the Lingering Souls, the Ghost Quarter was about. That was my next turn. So we do want to use it to grab our land, and that kind of sucks for him, but it was a necessary play. So. Because he was
that does get us.
He was about to get 10 types of fucked up there.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we just play like Noble Hierarch Worship.
I don't even want to play Worship.
Yes. Well. Yeah. With this 2 land, there's no way he can kill us.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can attack for 1. For 2. Yeah, Worship could be destroyed by a large bomb. It's true. Anyway, my play here is something different. I'm going to get my Gavony Township back at the end of the turn.
From Chord?
Yeah. The bomb is back!
The bomb! Now, the real question is, does he ratchet it up, or...
He is ratcheting it up.
Okay, so we still have our 1/1s.
No. Yeah, we'll be keeping our 1/1. So, this is going to be my play here. You'll see this. I don't care about attacks, because I have blocks. So, end step. Chord for... Do that. Then we're going to double tap it. Four and 5. And 5. Guess what card I get?
Is it a good one?
Yeah, it's Gavony.
It's a good one.
It's Gavony Township.
It's basically Gavony Township. Hey! So many Gavony Townships.
Guess what else is basically Gavony Township? By the way, I'm going to put more counters on Walrus to flashback Lingering Souls. And then we're going to go ahead and do this.
It's basically Gavony Township.
Basically Gavony Township. So again, the aggro plan out of the deck, where I just crush you. By the way, I can get a lot of mana out of this Walrus. It has 4 -0/-1 counters. Basically Gavony Township.
Alright, well, our opponent's dead next turn.
Yes. They chose to ratchet the bomb a little too early. If they had used it to ratchet on 0 in the middle of that combat, they would have a little bit more time.
Mm-hmm.
So they cut me off of mana, but it's not really enough. And again, their lands are not the fast lands, so they're quite behind.
Yeah, that's...
So this is, again, we kind of get to see the weakness. I wouldn't say the weakness, but it's a weak point of it's a character flaw. Yeah, that's how I like it's a character flaw of the deck.
Yeah, if if you're playing up against another fast deck, which moderns are everything fast.
Even so, but yeah. Also, I'm glad our opponent got to have some learning experiences, because that is what this is about. You get to learn how the decks function, and now our opponent has. What are the last 3 cards in our opponent's hand? Likely Thought-Knot Seer, Reality Smasher, Thought-Knot Seer, or something like that. Likely too expensive cards to play. So yeah.
All right. Unfortunately, I don't think he got to realize that he made a mistake picking Noble Hierarch, though.
I don't believe so either. I guess I should have tapped it in response to show that. Oh well.
Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing. It's weak to bad keeps, but it's hard to recognize what the bad keeps are compared to a normal hand.
Right.
It's slightly different to evaluate. You have to see what is and is not a bad keep. It's interesting.
All right. Well, we are 4-0.
Yeah, this is a very fast deck. Again, we have multiple different plans going on, and they have some overlap, but we can move between them.
See, that's I think one thing I like about this deck over the Eldrazi one we just played. It seemed like that Eldrazi one really had one plan.
It does have multiple plans. We didn't get to see their 3 most powerful cards. None of them.
That's also true.
We completely dodged all 3 of their cards that are, oh, this blows. Oh, this blows. He did play the 7/7, which is probably one of its best plays, and he did get to do the mimic thing. Yeah.
Well, one of them went to 1-1.
Yep, so they'll be finishing up, and we'll be moving right along. Yeah, no Thought-Knots. Thought-Knot is an incredibly powerful card. So is Reality Smasher, and Matter Reshaper is quite good. Maybe not on the same level as the other 2 offensively, but is one that we saw in your draft.
Yeah, that was the 3/2 that when it dies, put a 3-drop from the top.
Yeah. And if it's not a 3-drop, you draw it.
Right, so it's card advantage either way.
And it's a 3/2 for 3, so it's like a good card. So how do you feel about Jund and the addition of Kalitas? Kalitas? I don't actually know which is the correct pronunciation, so I say both every time I talk about the card. The power of that card is that it actually lets it answer main deck some of the infinites, because Kalitas has a exile effect attached to it. So if they try to go infinite with the persist combo, it just blocks it, which is a good thing, and it's also just a very powerful card. Abyss, are you still talking about that Duel Masters thing? Yeah, you're still talking. Okay. I don't think it was you that mentioned that the last time. Somebody mentioned that the last time we were talking about Jace. Jason Bolus, there's a Wizards has another card game, and they just do a lot of crazy things in it.
So I'm looking at this deck was just called Burn, that was running Wild Nicobble.
Burn.
I think that's silly. It's literally the plains is literally in there for Wild Nicottle and Boros Charm.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. What we were doing here, Harriet, this is the modern Gauntlet. I'm just showing off modern decks. Yeah, the Jace has 2 of its abilities. I believe it has the Brainstorm and the Bounce. But, where's our list? But yeah, I'm showing off the Gauntlet here, which is we get handed a modern Pro Tour deck, and we get to play it against other Pro Tour decks. Last time we had this one, which is the Valakut combo deck. Primeval Titan, Valakut, Scapeshift. All this shenanigans, crazy stuff going on. And our deck, which is the Archangel Chord deck, which has some pretty cool infinites of its own. Very happy with this. These don't, give a lot of tickets. They cost 60 fake points, the phantom points, to play. And 1 win gets you 20, 2 wins gets you 60, 3 wins gets you 90. So really the point is more this gives you a way to kind of cheaply, comparatively to, purchasing all the decks and playing them, play all the decks.
Alright, so you already got your...
Yes, I've already gotten the payback on it, which I'm happy enough with. And we are only waiting on one more match.
Wow, that other one went really quick. Because it went to 1-1 after you finished your game.
No, okay. So we're just waiting on this one here. And we don't know who... the winner of that game is our opponent. Because they'll be 2-0 as well. Yeah, it looks like this player dropped from the event.
Yeah, I suppose when you went 0-0.
Yeah, they didn't want to bother playing out the last match. They probably just wanted to go play other decks or something like that. Do another thing. It's fine. The 20 points is not really enough to keep you running for it.
Right.
But I'm very happy with this feature. It's I've described it as a tavern brawl.
Yeah.
And it sort of is. It's only around for this week.
Are they doing something different next week?
Nope. Just this 1 week. Though, next week they're bringing back the flashback drafts.
Oh, nice.
You remember how we were doing the Mirrodin ones?
Right. Does that mean it's...
We're up to Kamigawa.
Ooh.
Yeah. How real is Duel Masters? I've never seen a living human play it.
Just dead ones.
Thank you. I guess I've seen some skeletons play it or something. I don't know. I don't know why I needed to put that word there.
When I had people over to watch the Super Bowl, like last weekend before, or something like that, whenever that was, we ended up watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
Oh my god.
Because Dakota was like, "Hey, let's watch an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I haven't seen that in forever." So we watched like one regular one, and I was like, "Have you watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Let's watch one of those." He's like, "I literally got the same value, but it was actually funny."
I haven't watched those in a long time, and I don't know if they hold up.
They're still pretty bad, but
right. Yeah. There's the Eternal Masters thing, which I'm going to be interested to draft. I think that set's going to suffer a lot from like the existence of the restricted list. So the Eternal Master, like they did Modern Masters.
Okay.
They're doing like Vintage and Legacy Masters.
Really? Are they going to print things like Power 9 stuff?
No, they cannot reprint some of those cards.
Okay.
So when I say it suffers from the restricted list, that means that there's a list that Wizards has of cards they will never reprint.
Okay.
Power 9 and Duels are on that list, so...
That's fair.
It's going to be cards that are powerful in Eternal formats, but they aren't going to print the best, the most expensive cards are on the list. So it's going to be helpful to the format, but it's going to have the same issue that Nick Thermian, you can tell an alpha card from a non-alpha card. Alpha cards have a slightly different cornering and are printed on slightly different card. They have slightly different card stock. You can tell it apart, and I don't think it's. I feel like it would be very difficult to try to pass off reprints as them. Eternal but not modern. They said it focuses on Legacy and Vintage, but Legacy and Vintage do include modern cards, so there will be modern legal cards in it. I mean, okay. Tarmogoyf is a very powerful card in Legacy. It's also a modern card. Force of Will was the card they showed off.
Oh, nice.
With new art by Therese Nielsen, who did the old art for it, and it looks actually quite good. So, but Force of Will, reprint, and it's oh my god. Yeah, Wasteland was the other card they showed off, yes. Which both of those are cards that... So I think what will happen as far as like monetary from it is that all the cards that get reprinted will kind of sit around, maybe get slightly less expensive, and all the cards that aren't reprinted will just skyrocket. Because if there are more people playing the format, and there are more cards printed for like some of those cards, but not more cards printed for all of them, like people want to play Legacy, they're gonna have to go find duels, you know. So it's kind of like how Liliana spiked when Liliana wasn't reprinted in the first Modern Masters,
right?
Because people were like, oh well, I want to play Modern. Well, what card do I need? Well, I can get all my cards from Modern Masters. Well, what am I missing? Liliana. Oh, well, there's 1,000 people who are also trying to do the same thing, but there aren't any new Lilianas printed. So.
Oh,
Liliana. Yeah. What do we think the 2-0 deck will be?
I'm kind of hoping that it's the other Eldrazi.
That'd be good. I'd like to see that, or even like maybe in one of the aggressive decks we haven't gotten to play against.
Yeah, I don't know how well. I don't think our deck plays very well against aggressive, but I mean we can.
No, I'd like to see it. You know.
Right. No. Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to see what that matchup would be like as well, because I feel like that's our bad matchup. So I kind of want to see how it plays out.
Mm-hmm. Legacy Burn. Legacy Burn is the standby of players who want to jump into Legacy but don't want to pay a lot of money and feel like, you know, that's the only choice they have. It is a functional deck. It's a quite good deck. I mean, maybe not quite good. I think that might be overselling it. It preys upon Legacy well enough, but it's also a deck that can just get stopped by a good player. Like like one of the I don't know what you call them anymore, but the rug decks can deal with that pretty effectively. It is a deck, though. It is definitely a deck.
Deck.
Yeah, I want to be straightforward on that. Legacy is a very wide format. I've played a couple Legacy events myself, and hell, I think that was where I made third at a Legacy event to win 2 Tarmogoyfs. That was good.
Well, I like winning $200.
Yeah, because the first place player got a dual land. The second place player got a... Well, okay, the top 4 got to choose what they wanted in order. The first place player chose to pick the dual land because it's an old dual worth quite a lot. The second place player got a playset of Force of Wills.
Nice.
And the third place player was me, got to pick the 2 Tarmogoyfs. And the only reason that Ryan didn't pick the 2 Tarmogoyfs is because he already owned 4. so he picked the Forces, which he didn't have.
I can't remember which buddy it was of yours that I love the one story, like when Tarmogoyf first came out, it was like a $4 card. He's like, this card is going to be amazing, and he just like bought like tons of them, and then they went up to like $80, and he had like 100 of them.
I know that happened at the local shop in Winona. That was the reason he stopped selling singles for years.
Really?
He I gotta quick clear this out. Okay. Yep, yeah, because he priced based off of Scry magazine.
Okay.
Which doesn't exist anymore to my knowledge. But so when you're pricing based off a magazine, you're like 2 months behind.
Yeah.
So Tarmogoyf was slowly spiking, and he realized, like some player at the store realized, oh, this isn't going to go down, and they're worth like $20. I should buy every one that the store has. And he bought like 8 copies from the store at $3 a piece. Then a couple months later, the owner of the store realized that the card was like a $50+ card, and was like, he got so angry about how much perceived money he lost there that he just stopped doing singles for like selling. He stopped using like that like for a couple of years. It was pretty silly. He did finally move over to this was years ago because this is when it came out. I understand the annoyance with that because that's it's like I got owned.
And that's why Scry is not a magazine.
Well, Magic prices move too fast.
They do. They really do.
Like, you can't rely on a month-old information if you want to keep up with what the perceived value of something is.
I guess I really don't know how big, like, Star City was at that point.
Star City actually started as just a local card shop that happened to beat most other shops to the punch at doing online sales.
Right. Yeah, I just don't know if they were a big thing at that point.
Not at that point. They were growing.
So online prices were just a lot harder to track than I suppose.
Yeah, they existed. They did do online sales at that point, but they were not. Yeah. Star City is not in LA. It's in Virginia. Roanoke, actually, I believe. It just started as just like any old other small card shop, and it grew into what it is now, which is huge. Yeah, Roanoke. Okay. Hi, Gnome. I saw that Dark Souls was going on, but I wanted to do some. Our deck is the. I'll just pull it up. This is our deck. This is our deck. Archangel Chord. We're 2-0 with it. We've beaten an opposing Abzan Company combo deck, the Malira Dot Pod combo deck, and we've beaten the colorless Eldrazi deck.
Which that was intense.
That one was great because our opponent owned us 1,000 times over with a Ratchet Bomb.
Yeah, just like cleared out 3 mana dorks.
Yeah,
on our keep on a 1-lander.
We kept 1 land, Noble Hierarch Birds, and I went land Noble Hierarch go. He goes Ghost Quarter Pass. I go don't draw a land and go Noble Hierarch Birds, and then he just goes Ratchet Bomb up it. And it's just like, oh.
And then we went fuck.
So then we won.
Yeah, and then that happened.
Okay. For packing, that's good. Are you taking off on? Actually, no. You don't have to like really go that. Like, I assume you're taking off in a couple days. I still have packing to do. I've got my suitcase and things set aside for MagFest.
One of these years I'll go to that.
Quite excited about it. I tried. Did it work?
You need Llanowar Vanguard, alright?
Oh, it didn't work. Okay, fine. Our sideboard Dryad's favor, just to beat up on people who have forests. Oh boy.
Alright. Well, at most, there's like, what, 5 minutes left?
At technical most, there are another 15 minutes and 35 seconds left. At most.
But I don't want there to be that.
Neither do I. Hopefully they don't go to game 3. And if they do, somebody's losing to the timer. the timer is the upper limit there.
So, all right. So what are the 2 slowest decks? Maybe we can find out what we're playing against based on that.
Jeskai Control is number 1 on that list. It's just a slow control deck. It's the bottom on the list of the list. There's no Storm. Nope. Jeskai Control is the slowest deck because it's a control deck. It could be like Jeskai Control versus Blue Moon or something like that.
Oh, God.
That would be slow as hell. A lot of the other decks have inevitability. Like, and if it was a control deck against an aggro deck, I would consider it be over quicker. Even the Jeskai Control deck, which I would say is the slowest deck, ain't that slow. Like, it's a control deck. Aren't we sort of a slow deck? No. We've won every game on, what, turn 5?
5 or 6, I think.
We won on turn 4, turn 5, turn 7, or something like that. We're not slow.
Yeah. Yeah, even when the dude blew up 3 of our mana dorks, we're still just like, okay.
I would say we won 3 turns later.
Yeah, we just combo off here.
Yeah. So we have, I guess the Mardu deck could be, because the Mardu deck is not a deck that has a lot of win conditions in it.
It could be.
I mean, that's a modern deck that's playing 4 Shambling Vent. Ooh, Shambling Vent.
It's in shambles.
The Vent that is in shambles.
Which deck was the Shambling Vent?
Mardu, it's the name. It's red, white, and black. I don't know if I'd call it control, because it's 4x Dark Confidant. It's 8 creatures and 4 of them are Confidant, okay? And then we have Lightning Bolt, Lightning Helix, Path.
Okay.
Does any sort of dredge exist in Modern? Not really, no. I think Grave Troll's not banned anymore, but that's not enough to make it real, because you don't have any of the real ways to pull it off. It's not fast enough. It's not consistent enough. I think Grave Troll is not banned anymore. That sounds like something that isn't banned. It used to be. It's incredibly easy to hate on these days too, because like the ooze is in a lot of green decks.
Oh man, Colligan's Command.
Yes, that is it's not the most powerful card, but it is the most versatile card.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, like,
yes,
I see how, like, 2 damage and discard a card is on there, so like it's, like just like a worse Blightning, but that 2 damage can like go to a creature or blow up an artifact, or
yeah, it could also raise dead.
Yeah.
So like the deck can pick up its Fulminator Mage again, or like your Dark Confidant dies and you go, okay, I'll pick up my Dark Confidant and kill your guy. The Colligan's Command is nowhere near the most powerful card, but just its versatility. You can instant speed make them discard a card at their draw step.
Right.
You can kill their Confidant and make them discard. You can, it has a lot to offer. It's its biggest trick. I guess while we're waiting, there are actually a couple new spoilers from Shadows over Innistrad to take a look at.
Yeah.
What would you say the strongest command is? In a vacuum, I might say Dromoka's. I don't know. Anyway, the cards in Shadows over Innistrad, there's 4 new ones. There's frickin' mono blue recoil, which is nuts. Blue one, the card owns. It's really great looking. By the way, the link I am looking at, I'm now going to link. I'm not going to put it up on here.
Force of Will? All right. Yeah.
No, yeah, not Force Will. We have a 1/1 flyer that has lots of text for one.
I was gonna say that's a pretty sweet flying man.
Well, not only is it a flying man, but it's a flying man that like taps a blocker when it attacks, at the beginning of I'm sorry, not when it attacks, at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if it has that trigger on, that's a 1-mana 1/1 flyer. That's a the freaking 4/6 from Origins. It's quite good if it's on. So a flying man with lots of text, sure, okay.
I feel like anything that has the word Geist in it just tries to walk that line between super unfair and like just a good card.
Yeah, the Tooth Collector being a fake Necrotol. It's a playable 1-mana 1/1 flyer and limited, I'd say, for pretty certain. Tooth Collector, which is a fake Necrotol that also says, it also has the repeatable effect. So I guess that's like a thing. Like,
yeah,
a creature that does a thing and then it repeatedly does the same thing. Compelling Deterrence, which is blue 1, bounce a non-land permanent, and then if that player discards a card if you have a zombie.
That's pretty sweet.
Well, that card used to cost blue-black 1 and didn't, not having the zombie text on it. So, like, I don't know if that'll be, like, terribly, like, standard playable, because that depends on if zombies have playable cards. But,
I mean, it's Boomerang.
Yeah, it's basically Boomerang. And then Eerie Interlude is a card called Ghostway, but targeting. Ghostway was a card from... shout outs to Recoil. Ghostway was a card from Ravnica Block that said, white 2, remove all creatures you control from the game, return them into play at the end of the turn. This one says, exile any number of creatures you control, return them into play. At the beginning, at the end of turn.
Sweet.
So it's like targeted.
I actually really like the art on that Compelling Deterrence.
Zombie in the freaking... Like, get out of here. There's just the zombie hanging out in the freaking field or whatever. The Tooth Collector who...
That art on Tooth Collector looks so old. Like, just the style of it looks like it's, like, 8th edition.
The name that came to mind was Hiatus. Because the person on that has, like, the hair and also the stone that the Celestians have on their head.
Oh, yep. Awesome.
The reference just for you.
Thank you.
But yeah, Tooth Collector who just has a bunch of teeth.
These are mine.
I want them.
Have they started doing... I mean, I might just not pay attention that well, but, like, have they started doing spoilers sooner and sooner?
What happened with this one is their hand was forced.
Oh.
A week ago, 2 packs of the new set were found and opened in the Netherlands or something. Or in, like, over in, I think it was the Netherlands.
Huh.
And they got posted online, so there's a bunch of spoilers for a bunch of commons and uncommons.
Okay.
We're finally done.
Hey, thank God it went 2-2-0. I was really hoping that would go from 1-0 to 2-1, like, instantly, which meant that the dude who won the first game just went to time.
Oh, man, that would rule. What's the deal with Eternal Masters? They'll print the packs and sell them for $100 each. In real life, probably close to that. They'll print, like, a couple print runs. The packs will sell for, like, twice the price on the pack, which will be, like, $16, give or take. Maybe lower than that initially. And then, they'll be MSRP'd at 10, but I know there will be places that won't sell them at 10. And then the other one... Online, they'll be $7 a piece and have draft formats. So, but it'll be a lot of modern or legacy cards, vintage cards, modern cards, and standard cards. Just good cards. I agree with you, Seymour's. There probably won't be like more value in there. Bulldozer. We are playing the Modern Pro Tour Gauntlet. So the way this works, 8 players come into the queue. They are all given a deck from the last Modern Pro Tour. And you play against each other.
The end.
That's the quickest way to explain it. We're all given a random deck from the list that Abyss Hunted just linked, so you can tell how far behind you are. Our deck, which I will quick switch over to, is a green-white combo deck based around the combo of Archangel of Thune. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, and Spike Feeder. Remove a counter, gain 2 life. Repeat.
So before we get in here, I'd just like to mention one other card I saw in here. How good do you think Lightning Axe will be?
Lightning Axe is a really cool reprint.
Oh, is that a reprint?
That's a reprint from Time Spiral.
Okay. It reminded me a lot of, like, from Hearthstone, what's that called? Just discard a card for 1 mana, deal 4 damage.
Yeah. This...
I know it only goes to creature on this, but...
I'm keeping.
Yeah, I'm cool with this.
This is... I don't know how... Again, we're in a void. I don't know what my opponent's playing.
Right. I mean, it's got 2 mana dorks that are good at blocking the early game and a win con of Lingering Souls in Gavony Township.
All right, so let's find out. What is our opponent playing? The land should reveal them fairly quickly. Oh!
It is the other Eldrazi.
It is the other Eldrazi deck.
I'm actually really okay with that.
We don't know which one because Ayavugan is not enough to tell me. I'm going to go ahead and grab a Godless Shrine. Would you like to pay 2 life for that? No, thank you.
I'm okay on that one. Ooh. Actually, I don't know if that actually even matters against this deck, but...
Gonna grab a...
We need the white. Oh, we have white. We don't need it.
Yeah. So, it's time for Eldrazi's. Alright, Urborg. So they could Thought Knot Seer me, because they can... Okay, this taps for 1, this taps for 1, and then -2. So Thought Knot Seer is a card they can play right here on 2.
Wow.
Or they can play a 4/4.
That's pretty good, too.
Not the best.
Hey, Pat.
I mean, I can block it.
You can block it, especially because being just like Gavony Township, like Lingering Souls here. Or Wallaroots. We wouldn't be able to block then, though, if we wanted to do both. I think we're okay with that.
I think I'm gonna play Spellskite instead.
Okay, that way we can still block.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then check this out.
Gotta tap the Wallaroots.
I can double tap it too, for those who haven't seen it.
Isn't that cheating?
Alright, so I'm going to try to use only this Walrus for mana if possible, just so I can keep this endless one on the block.
Right.
But that was 4 mana on turn 2. Our opponent has, again, like, they have the quick start. These are the lands. This is ridiculous. And they have 7 cards, so... By the way, they're on the... Let me pull up the... I believe this is the black-blue list. Actually, no. The blue-red... Yeah, the blue-red does not run this, so it is the black-blue Eldrazi list. This one runs Wasteland Strangler, Drowner of Hope, and Relic of Progenitus, and a number of cards. So we might be seeing some pretty... Oh, they actually can't. You're correct. They could not play Thought Knot Seer. They don't have Colorless. Thank you for pointing that out. I didn't even think of that, and maybe our opponent didn't either. That's a very good point. I didn't even notice it, so... Because black and black.
Nice.
So yeah, thank you, Seymour. That might actually be something that's keeping us, like...
From not being dead?
Yeah, not being overrun here, because my opponent can't make a lot of the plays they might want to. So they actually don't have main deck removal.
Okay, that helps.
Yeah, that helps a lot. It means that the Lingering Souls plan looks really good.
Really does.
I'd like to draw 5th land. Oh, there's the colorless, and it's the Temple, too.
Wow.
Check this out. Here's Matter Reshaper for 1.
That's pretty sick.
Luckily, I blocked that with Spellskite. Here's Matter Reshaper for 1.
Oh god.
And here...
Another 4-drop?
Here's another endless one. No, Chalice on 1.
Okay, alright.
I can no longer play 1-drops.
That kind of sucks.
It kind of does. I can't play the Path to Exile in my hand.
Well, let's see if we can overrun them with 1/1s. By 1/1s, I mean like 4 3/3s flying, but...
Yeah. It might not be that they were playing a slow deck, but that they were getting familiar with the deck that they were playing.
That's true. We could play Courser.
I like that, because it blocks the Matter Reshapers.
That's very true, and also we might just get like 2 land at the top.
1 land, it doesn't let you play additionals.
Oh, I was thinking of
I actually need it. So I'm going to use this Wall of Writs because I want to keep one at 5.
Right. Hopefully we can find the land.
Hopefully. Not that much, Abyss Hunted. Not that much. A lot, but not that many. Chord of Calling on top is a very nice card to have.
Yeah.
So anyway, I actually have the defense here.
Right.
Kind of stunning, to be entirely honest.
Worst case scenario too, we do have the Pride Mage to take out that Chalice.
Right, I can actually turn on my if I want, I can turn on my plays. So what are they doing? Ratchet Bomb. Ratchet Bomb on 2 does a pretty big number on me. That means the Pride Mage has to do some work.
I think, yeah, we got a Pride Mage take out the Ratchet Bomb.
That's correct. Am I looking at the wrong... Oh, no! So, okay, so this is an important thing. Actually, am I looking at the wrong list? I might be looking at the wrong list. Oh, maybe you can have duplicates.
I was gonna say, this seems very familiar.
Yeah. Huh. Anyway, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to blow that up soon. Not immediately, but soon.
Yeah, we have 2 turns to do it. So we could play Lingering first and then...
You can see the same deck. So yeah, this is not actually the blue-black version. I didn't realize you could have duplicates. Okay, so Archangel on the top.
Do we want a Lingering first to see if he'll like... If we Lingering first, though, he'll just...
There's no way. 0 blows up his own stuff.
Oh, yeah, fair.
I actually want a Chord.
Oh, yeah. We can get our 3-drop and then just win next turn.
No. We can't win next turn because we'll shuffle.
Oh, yep, you're correct.
I actually want to grab the Archangel and then just start attacking.
Sure.
So I'm actually just going to... I need to... Now, if I play the Angel, I actually don't have double white right now.
That's true.
So playing the Angel off the top doesn't function. I actually think I need a Chord for the Angel, as odd as that seems.
I mean, that's fine.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to go ahead and play Pride Mage. At the end of my opponent's turn, I'm going to Chord for 5.
Okay.
Or mid-combat, if that's what it comes to. Anyway, he's going to charge that Ratchet Bomb.
Yeah.
I'm going to need to kill it this turn. Anyway, end step. So check out these Wall of Writs.
The double tab.
So, Chord for 5. I'm going to grab the Archangel off the top of my library.
Yeah, because we don't have the double white to play it. And we just draw Spike Feeder. Okay, it's Gavony on top.
Alright, so here, check out this first play of land.
Oh, gaining the life.
Yep. Probably should do that with the Lingering Souls in play, but doesn't need to because our opponent knows the game is over.
Got him.
They can't stop this. Their main deck does not contain cards that allow them to interact with this anymore because I have the Spellskite to stop a dismember, and once this gets up to 5, 6, it can't be dismembered. The game is over.
Yeah.
So, That's the game. I actually could path in response here too by killing the chalice. That is the major reason Corsair's in the list. Yeah, I absolutely. Anyway, beginning sideboard. So we want to do the same thing I did before, where the warships are going to come in.
Yeah, that was it, right?
Yeah. What did I bring out?
The spell skites actually.
Yeah, sure.
Spell skites are what? Yeah.
I'm gonna bring out one and Scoos, I think.
Yeah.
I want the warships. That's the card I think is the most useful here.
I do too.
The Pontiff is good for killing off Eldrazi mimics, which is why I'm keeping it in. Because mimics it's a one of, and I like having that ability to kill off Eldrazi mimics.
Right, you just respond to them, trying to make them big by killing all of them.
He did have Chalice on one, but I had Pride Mage to blow up the Chalice. Yes, you regain life. Path is life gain for Corsair. You're correct. That's the whole. It becomes Swords to Plowshares, the fakest Swords to Plowshares. No. You get the land and the life. It's pretty powerful. Anyway, let's battle. I really didn't know that you get duplicate decks in here.
This looks.
This is
okay.
fine. This is fine. Willing to keep. So hopefully our opponent.
For overgrown, but that's fine.
So Eldrazi Temple to start, and let's see what they're. I'm gonna go ahead and just lead with.
We can just lead with Forest. Maybe we can play the Tomb Tapped. I doubt it, but
if I play it next turn, I will do that. I'll just play Tomb Tapped because I'll play Walrus.
Right.
All right. So 3 mana. They can't make the really busted starts, but they can Matter Reshaper. You know.
Walrus is so good.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, we got our 1x Spellskite. Oh, so you can get Spellskite out as well.
Mm-hmm. Because Spellskite can block Matter Reshaper as well. And I want more things out for Chord to work.
That's true. Both of them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Simian Spirit Guide. Looks like I'm taking 5. So check it out. It's time to see the dumbest card in this deck. Hello. My name is the Reality Smasher. It's time for you to be crushed by a 5/5 haste trample that counters a spell that targets it unless you discard a card.
Jesus.
Time to die.
Well, that sucks.
Little bit. I can Lingering Souls and Lingering Souls.
Sounds fine.
Do I want a double Lingering Souls or just single?
I mean, double's fine. We have Gavony out already.
Well, like playing around a bomb or something. I'm also thinking about if I want to Chord this turn. I should be able to win, actually.
Oh yeah, we have double Chord.
I have double Chord.
Let's just win the game.
So I'm going to Chord once for the 3, and then I'm going to Chord for a 5.
Yeah.
Try winning the game. So this is going to be the Chord for 3. Because
it also gets us some chump blockers.
Now I can't do the other Lingering Souls because I won't have the green necessary for Chord. It is mana neutral, but it is not color neutral. As long as I don't get murdered here, I'll be fine. Now, he could play Thought-Knot Seer, and that makes me, get absolutely crushed, but he could also just play another Reality Smasher, which is likely what this is. Hello!
A reality has been smashed.
So I'm going to take 10 and go to 3, and I'm going to block with Spellskite.
Well, 3 is not dead.
Mm-hmm. So Okay. End step. Oh, sorry. This first, and then double tap it. Chord for 3. Excuse me while I find Spike Feeder. Spike the Feeder.
Spike the Feeder.
And then we're going to go ahead and not pay 2 life, because that might lose us the game. Gutshot is a card in our opponent's list.
I suppose he only has to pay 2 life for that, doesn't he?
Yep, and if I go to 1, he could just murder me.
That'd be super funny.
It would be super funny. Now check out how I'm going to win this one. Damn it, I wanted to attack with Spell Sky for 20, okay?
Got him. Alright, well that's 3.
That's it. That's how this deck operates. So this is the faster start. Luckily our opponent did not have Thought Knot Seer to make us lose.
Yeah.
Which, we would, by the way, we'd lose to that card. Just want to let you know that.
Well, alright then. We are the winners.
Yeah, so this deck functions quite well. It's very straightforward and very, very good at its job. I'm impressed by this deck. I thought it was a lot simpler than it looks, and it's simple in a way, but
It's simple, but it still has a lot of interaction.
right. No, I don't feel like we lost. Probably the opposite of that. Yeah.
We won, dude.
Yeah. You already know that. So that's it, though. That's the end. Has Path to Exile ever played? No.
No. We don't need to interact when our interaction is kill our opponent.
Right. We'll go to infinite. I'm very impressed by this deck.
What was the record on this one?
We went 3-0 with this one. What do you mean?
No, the guy who had the deck.
The player who played it was 9-1. He was the only 9-1 player.
I now understand.
Yeah. It's quite resilient. Oh, yeah, I get a QP. Mm-hmm.
That's what you needed, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm slowly gaining enough to use them.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I have all year to gain 35, and I have 13. So.
Yeah, all right.
Yep. Anyway, I'm not gonna make you sit around through the rest of this waiting for the event to finish and me to get my QP. Imagine Soren's fit here. I'll play it out for you. Here, Soren's face.
Hey, you've received new product.
Yeah, you got new product, and then we go ahead and we receive 90 of these, and that's it. So. The entrance fee,
entry fee was 60?
60 play points. This is a very cheap format. 60 play points are 6 tickets. It's cheap, and fun. It's a lot of it's like it's sort of like a tavern brawl. So, anyway.
But if you don't have already things invested, it costs money.
Yeah, money. Oh, money. Yeah, money. All right. So that's it. That's all for now. It's a little too late for me to want to run it back. If I ran it back, I'd be here for another like 2-ish hours, and I do not have time for that. So that's all for now. Thank you, Mike, for joining. Hope you.
Yeah, no problem. That was actually very interesting.
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
Because I haven't seen modern stuff in a long time.
Yeah, there's a lot more there where that came from. So thanks everybody in the zoo. Hope you enjoyed. Everybody have a good night.